Welcome to the Angel Foundation podcast, Angels Among Us. Hello, I'm Liz Brewer, the host. In this podcast, we shine a light on the people, partners, and everyday heroes who step forward when families in our community face the unthinkable. When a life-threatening illness or catastrophic event turns a family's world upside down. In this show, you'll hear the stories behind that mission, stories of compassion and action, stories of angels coming together. Because when people come together, miracles happen. This is how angels are among us. Let's begin. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Angel Foundation podcast. I am very excited to welcome our sweet Lisa here today. Lisa is our office administrator, program coordinator, and wears many hats at the Angel Foundation of Florida. But I am just so excited because not only does she wear all those hats, she truly is a godsend to us, because when the phone rings and she answers those calls, her heart and her love for these families that she's never met is just so clearly demonstrated through her responses on the calls to these families. And my office is a little bit farther back from her, but we get to share in the work of the Angel Foundation of Florida every single day. And it is such a blessing to have you there, because not only does she lead with her heart, but she is a wise woman who oftentimes when she comes to me with a request, she already has a solution in place. And so that's a gift for sure. So Lisa, thank you for saying yes to being a part of the Angel Foundation of Florida. But I want to ask you today, what led you to the Angel Foundation of Florida?
Oh, Liz, thank you so much for having me on today's show. I would say that it was Pastor Tina. Pastor Tina had invited me to one of your Angel team members' Connect Luncheon. And I had been looking to volunteer. And Pastor Tina invited me, and when I just sat there and I heard all the stories of the families that you served and what they were going through. They were battling life-threatening illnesses. They were battling catastrophic events. And just to see the love from all the team members, the Angel team members, of how they were talking about what they were doing for these families, it touched my heart, because my grandmother had battled cancer and I lost one of my aunts to cancer. So it really touched my heart. And I really wanted to be a part of something so beautiful.
So for those of you that don't know what we do here at the Angel Foundation of Florida, I want to pull back the curtain today, because I think it's important that you understand, just by reading the mission or the vision, it's pretty basic, but the real work happens behind the scenes every single day. And one of the burdens that I've had on my heart for many, many years, this being our 20th year of our Angel Foundation Angel program, and the history is so near and dear to my heart, because it was in 2006 that I was a volunteer at the Angel Foundation and loved serving, loved being able to give back to my community in a way that was meaningful, but allowed me, a busy mom, a business owner, being able to give back to the community was really important to me. But it wasn't until I went through my dad's diagnosis with lung cancer that I realized that some of the nonprofits that we were serving were doing wonderful things, but I didn't need those nonprofits. So after he passed away, after 6 months with lung cancer, and I realized it was the family and friends in our church that came alongside of us to meet those most practical needs, that I knew that there was a gap in the community. There was this crack that wasn't being met for families that were just like mine, who were working hard. They were raising their families. They were doing all the things that we're supposed to do to be successful. But then when a life-threatening illness or catastrophic event hits, your life gets turned upside down. And it's those most practical things that you often will do without. They no longer become the top priority. The priority of your day becomes spending time with that loved one. Maybe it's having to go into the hospital, chemo treatments, figuring out how you're going to pay the bills because now the income has been cut. And so when we created the Foundation Angel program, it was to help families who just needed that practical help. They just needed a helping hand to walk alongside them and match them with the businesses in the community that had the desire to serve families, that wanted to help families in a practical way, but maybe they didn't know how to reach a family with their gifts and talents and their treasures that they had. So we were able to match the two together. We started a directory, a network, if you will, of angels that now to this day, there's hundreds of them. We actually have our own Angel Foundation Florida app that you can find on the Apple Store or on Google, where our supporters can actually go in there and they can see the work we do and hear some of the stories that we may not share publicly. So it is member only approved, but if you are interested, please check that out. But I want you to kind of pull back the curtain today of what that looks like on a typical day at the Angel Foundation.
Okay, it's my pleasure because it is a blessing. So every morning I go and I check our emails. I check for the request. And I pull up the requests. We have requests for families that need assistance. We have requests for volunteers that want to volunteer. We have requests for junior angels that they want to volunteer. And then we have prayer requests. So every morning I pull up those requests and I get the request for the family that needs the assistance. So I'll see a lot of our families are battling cancer. And a lot of them are at stage 4 and they just need practical help, house cleaning, yard work, gift cards for gas to be able to go to Moffitt or wherever they're getting their cancer treatments. So I pull up the requests and I will call the family personally. I ask them what their needs are. I go over all questions because we want to make sure that we have the right fit for them, that they do fit the program. Once I know that they're a fit, we schedule an in-home visit. And that's when Liz has me to go on every visit because I speak with them on the phone so that they can meet me. We go with another teenager and we see what their needs are. Sometimes we get requests that they won't fit our program, but we'll always give them a resource. There's always a resource. We get a lot of requests from people who need housing assistance or rental assistance or a single mom that needs help with, clothing or whatever it may be for her children. So we will always give them a resource and we will always offer prayer. Mm-hmm. We pray over everyone who calls on the phone because we want them to know they're not alone. We also have our prayer requests. So people will send in prayer requests and we will pull up those forms and we will pray over those requests. Once we do have a team, we will go into their home. We sit with them just like we're sitting here. This is the way we sit with them in their living room or at their dining room table. And we hear the stories of what they're going through. A lot of them just need help. They just need gift cards for gas. They're not working, so they can't pay their electric bill. Some of them can't even get out of bed because of the chemo, and they're so sick that now we have Instacart, and we will have groceries delivered right to their home if they cannot go grocery shopping. We have volunteers that come together with churches that will do their yard work for them. Because if you're going through cancer, you're battling something, an illness that has you so weak, you can't mow your lawn. Mm-hmm. You can't vacuum and sweep and mop. So we have partners in the community that will go out. Either they'll donate the service or they'll give it to them at a discount. We have families that need car repairs. And the partners will donate or give a huge discount for these car repairs. That is what we do. We walk alongside these families because every story is different in its own way, but all the stories are also the same.
Absolutely. Every story is different. And we just recently, because we have a lot of meetings in our office, our board of directors comes in, our ladies spring tea committee, our evening of hope committee, our angel meetings. We have every first Friday of every month. We have all of our angel leaders come into the office or by Zoom because our area now is Eastern Hillsborough County and some of them can't physically get to the office. They come in. And so we just recently started posting pictures of our families because to me, it's a name on a piece of paper. And it's yes, we were able to provide $100 worth of gift cards. We were able to get their car tire repaired. We were able to get their backyard cleaned. And that's very, very impactful. But when you see the family's face, when you see the angels that we're serving that are from 16 years old to 60 years old, they come in all different shapes and sizes, and every need is different. We even have a family with a 2-year-old right now who's waiting a heart transplant. So every need is different. And as Lisa said, we can customize that service to that family. It's kind of like case management. You have a case manager, someone who's going to advocate for you. Many times some of our families are struggling with their income has been dropped considerably. Absolutely. And we can give them gift cards, and that's a huge blessing. but there are some SNAP assistance programs available. And so we can refer them to someone where they never have to leave the care of the Angel Foundation, but they can get a direct connection to be able to apply for those food stamps
Absolutely.
or insurance for their child, because many of our families, they end up losing their jobs, as sad as it is. They lose their jobs and they lose their health insurance. And so we're able to connect them with local resources to meet those practical needs that we all have, that on any given day when life is good, we take for granted. But when a family is trying to decide how they're going to pay the electric bill today, put food on the table, or put gas in the tank, those $25 gift cards can be a lifesaver for them.
Absolutely.
And so our hope is that we can meet every single need, as big or small as it is.
Yes.
Sometimes it's a day at the zoo, at the Florida Aquarium.
Absolutely.
One of our angel leaders, and our angel leaders are so special because they have the heart and the compassion to see the need of the family. They identify the need. Then they come back and they tell us,
Yes.
this is what I want to do for this family. And one of our angel families recently said is a mom pregnant and 2 toddlers. I can't imagine just being pregnant was hard with my children, but having cancer and battling cancer and having chemo at the same time
Yes.
has to be the biggest struggle that you can imagine. And so as we walked alongside of her, the leader would send us emails, and she'd put it in our app saying, I just dropped off some pizza and some flowers to mom. Those little gestures really mean a lot
Yes.
to people.
Absolutely.
And seeing the smile on her face when she gifted them with passes to go to the Florida Aquarium with her little girls, we're not just giving them a handout. We don't give a handout. We give a helping hand. We create experiences. We create moments that they can actually remember with their family, because none of us are guaranteed tomorrow. But if they know that their battle may be ending soon, sometimes it's those most practical things that they can receive that can be life-changing for these families and give them hope
Absolutely.
and help in those most practical of ways. So thank you for sharing what a typical day looks like at the Angel Foundation. And there are so many stories. As we build up to the Evening of Hope, we are going to be sharing 20 stories in 20 weeks for our 20th year. And so if you haven't followed us yet on our social media, our Facebook page, please do, because you're going to hear some really incredible stories of ways that our angel teams have come alongside these families, giving them help and hope in the most practical of ways, and in really big ways too.
Yeah.
House paintings for a family who's getting the letters from the HOA that they're going to find them because they have, the house was worn, the paint was worn. We were able to send one of our angel business providers out to paint the house as a gift, as a total donation. And so some of those incredible ways that these businesses are wanting to bless these families and come
Absolutely.
alongside them has been incredible. What did you realize, or I should say, not what did you realize, but when did you realize the emotional cost that this job, by serving as our program coordinator, would entail? Because it's easy to answer the phone. Now, not everyone can answer the phone and have a caring voice and a listening voice. That is a gift that maybe I don't even have sometimes, because I get so busy with the day-to-day work that it's, we're rushing here, we're rushing there. But being able to sit down and listen while a family shares their heartbreak is an incredible gift in itself. But when did you realize that this job was not just a job, but it was an emotional job?
The first time I did an in-home visit, and actually it was, I believe, with you and Pam. And it was a young woman who had a little boy,
Yes, I
and she
remember.
was married, and she was battling cancer. And as she sat there, and we gave her some gift cards, and we referred her to Echo, and some other places for her to get diapers and groceries and stuff like that. And as I sat there, she could have been my daughter. She was a young wife. And when I sat there and I left there, I said, this is where I want to be. Like, I felt my heart needed to be with these families. And when you sit in their living room and you see the tears coming out of their eyes because they don't know how they're going to get groceries at Walmart. They don't know how they're going to pay their gas bill. They don't know how they're going to pay their car insurance. They don't know how they're going to be able to get to their appointments. Sometimes they have to go to chemo 3 and 4 times a week, and gas is expensive. And when you sit there and you can hold their hands and you can just pray with them, So many people need prayer,
Mhm.
and I've never had anyone tell me no. I would sit with them and I would speak about the love of Jesus, because that is what we do at the Angel Foundation. We are the hands and feet of Jesus Christ. That is what we're called to do, and that is what we do. We sit with them, we pray with them. And when you can pray with someone and hold their hands and pray with them, and they feel that they're not alone, and they feel that you love them and you care for them, it is more of a blessing to us than it is to them. And that's when I knew this is where I belong. This is where God wants me to be. This is my ministry.
Yeah, it truly is. It truly is. I say it's heart work that we do.
Oh, it's definitely heart work.
Yeah. And it's hard. There's days when, you know, you just hear these stories and it just is heartbreaking. And we lost 7 of our angel families just within the past year,
Yes.
primarily to cancer. And we grieve with these families, because when you walk alongside of a family and you're hearing some of their needs, that they don't want to ask for help. They figure they got it themselves. There's more people that need help. I was one of those families, right? No, I got this, I got this. But when someone comes alongside of you and does the most practical things, it's beautiful. And everyone can do that. Everyone can do that. You know, I say we all have time, we all have talent, and we have treasure. It's what we choose to do with it. And oftentimes our volunteers come to us because they've experienced something themselves. We have the honor of serving at the HCA Florida Brandon Hospital. We run the gift shop there. And so many families will come in there. Maybe they're in there celebrating the birth of a baby, or they had some type of outpatient surgery, and they come in looking for, you know, special gifts. But there's many times when they come in because they're either just lost a loved one, or they're there for an emergency situation, and they just need a quiet place to get away. And so many people come into the gift shop and say, this was just such a peaceful place. And our volunteers know that they can talk to the families, and they can ask them questions, and they can offer prayer if they need that. And no one has ever said no. Matter of fact, we actually have a prayer jar up there, and we encourage them to put their prayer requests in the jar, because that opens up the conversation to let them know that we want to walk alongside them and be there for them. I think over the last 20 years of being a part of the Angel Foundation, for me, the best gift that I have, and I get to celebrate every single day, is to have amazing volunteers like Lisa. Lisa's on staff, but she was a volunteer at the gift shop. She was an Angel volunteer team member. And because of her heart to serve, when the opportunity became open to fill the seat, God just sent her to us. And so we talk about how we're probably never going to retire because we just love what we do. It's not work. It's a calling. It's a calling and a passion. And so how would you, for guests that are listening today that are now getting a better understanding of what we do, how it works, we don't want anyone to ever feel that it's too much work, right? Because some people say, well, I'm already busy. I have a family. I have a job. I don't have time. But we know time is really where you get the greatest return when you're serving someone else. Absolutely. And so what would you say the time responsibility would be to volunteer at the foundation?
I would say your first visit, you're going to sit in their home with them, because you have to. You want to get to know them. You want to see what their needs are. You want to see where they fit in, where we can help them, what we can do for them. But a lot of times it's just a phone call, following up. Are you okay? Do you need any gift cards? You know, is there anything we can do for you? Sometimes just that one phone call, following up with them, is all they need. They may not need any gift cards. Maybe they just need someone to talk to just share that they went to their doctor's appointment and their numbers went down and they're excited. It doesn't take a lot. You are not with the families 5 days a week, you know, all day long. It's you visit them, at least visit them once or twice a month. Give them a phone call, see if they're okay, see if they need anything. A lot of times it's just, you know what, your gift cards are ready. If they can't come pick them up at the office, you just drop them off at their home. Or they'll send you an email, you know, I can't pay my TICO bill. And you just pay the TICO bill for them, and you let them know your TICO bill is paid. And that to them is huge. Things that we take for granted for them are huge. And it's not a lot of time at all. It's not a lot of time. It's not a lot of energy. And when you love what you do, you're going to do it with so much joy. I love what I do. I am blessed to be a part of the Angel Foundation. This has filled my life, because serving families is what I love to do. Praying over people is what I love to do. And that's what we do every single day. That's what we do.
Share the story with our listeners about the family who came in whose wife had just passed away. We weren't able to serve her during her cancer battle, sadly. But when the request came in, it came in because the father now was at a hotel with his children. And one of our supporters heard about the situation and called the foundation and asked if we can help. It may not have been a fit per se for the program, but how we were still able to come alongside and help this family.
This story always touches my heart because it is such an amazing story. This man, he's a school teacher. And during the summer, he wasn't, you don't work. So he was a school teacher and so many appointments at the hospital with his wife. She was battling cancer and the bills were just piling up. Unfortunately, they ended up losing their apartment. They had to, the wife passed away and him and his children, he had 4 children. And they had to stay in a hotel. And he was Ubering every day to be able to pay for that hotel room. So when we got the request, it completely broke my heart. And Liz wasn't even supposed to be at work that day. But she had happened to come in. And I said, Liz, this family hurt. It just breaks my heart. They have children. And they had 2 teenage girls. And the father didn't know what to do. So when I called him, I said, what can we do for you? I spoke with Liz. And we wanted to give them gift cards. So we gave them gift cards. And I asked them if he can come to the office to pick them up. Because the day was almost over. And when he came to the office to pick up the gift cards, he came with both of the daughters. And these little girls, they looked at me and they said, God bless you. Thank you so much. And this father was almost in tears because those gift cards helped him be able to go and buy his daughter dresses for their mother's funeral. He said, my daughters did not have black dresses to wear for their mother's funeral. And he was able to take his daughters shopping to get them a very pretty black dress to wear for the funeral. This story has stuck with me for a very long time because they didn't fit the program because unfortunately the wife had lost her battle to cancer, but we were still able to help this family. And that's what it's all about, helping the family.
Absolutely. And it's stories like these that we live every day. We receive these stories and it tugs at your heart because even though we all can't make a difference in big ways, we can make a difference in small ways. And so I always say, because I know that we all have time, we all have treasure, and we all have talent. What are you doing with those 3 things? Are you keeping them for yourself? And you will never be blessed if you do that. But if you give a little bit, even just a little bit of your time to help a family in such a practical way as that, you will be blessed. If we need volunteers. We need volunteers in the gift shop. They basically serve in the gift shop and they help us to operate so that we're volunteer driven and 100% of the revenue that we generate through the sale of everything in the gift shop is given back to our angel families through the program, through your treasure. We do not rely on the government. Our donations are what support the work of the foundation. That's what allows us to be at the foundation 5 days a week and be able to answer the phones and be able to provide the gift cards to the families when they need them. So become one of our supporters, one of our monthly angel donors. You will have an impact on being able to bless a family by paying their electric bill.
Absolutely.
Again, that might be their cry in the middle of the night is, I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills. I don't know how I'm going to put gas in my tank or pay for that car insurance bill that has come due. We want to take the burden off of these families so that they don't feel like they're alone because we all can come together. Neighbors helping neighbors, the community is there to help each other going through the worst of times so that when life gets better, they can pay it forward and help someone else in the days ahead. And so thank you, Lisa, for being our guest today, our first official podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and just hearing these stories just re-inspires me to continue doing what we do every single day.
Absolutely. It's
So
a true blessing what we do.
As we close today's episode, remember this. Real change often begins with one person choosing to show up for another with compassion, hope, and heart. Because when ordinary people choose to do something extraordinary for someone else, lives change, communities grow stronger, and kindness creates a ripple effect far beyond what we can see. Thank you for joining us on the Angel Foundation podcast. Keep being the angel someone may be praying for. Thank you for listening to the Angel Foundation podcast. You too can be a part of our story of angels serving families in our community.
Hi, I'm Steve with Master Garage Door Company. We service Brandon and the surrounding communities. Whether you need a new garage door opener, or repair, we can get you taken care of quickly and efficiently. We are licensed, bonded, and insured, and make sure that every new door is permitted. We'd love to give you a free estimate on whatever your need is, and we just thank you for stopping by and visiting Master Garage Door.